I'm John Harrison, Director of Coaching at Matford Hall Golf Club in Northumberland, and today we're going to try and give you a few tips on the simplest and easiest way to get around the golf course. It's very important that we get some kind of good sound technique and good sound advice before you attempt to play golf. It is a pretty complicated game. There are quite a few issues within the setup and the swing that need to be addressed, so you are better taking good advice and in the long run that will really help you to achieve some success at the game. But first of all, I'm just going to go through a few pointers on the setup which will actually help you to be a little bit more consistent. We kind of use a 4-point setup routine, okay, which is taking in first of all the grip, okay, secondly the aim, thirdly the stance, and last of all the posture. So if you can remember the word GASP, okay, grip, aim, stance, posture, we're never going to go too far wrong. Okay, the grip is really important because it actually controls what the club head does in the swing. You know, when people come for golf lessons, in general, they first of all start with a poor grip, which gets the club face into the wrong position throughout the swing. Just hang your arms naturally by your side. We see how, you know, the left hand and the right hand actually turns in a little bit. Okay, they don't stand. It's only a bodybuilder who would have his hands out like that. So the left hand is turning a little bit. So if I look down, I can probably see a couple of knuckles in my left hand, and the same with my right. Okay, so this is how we're going to kind of proceed to put the hands on the golf club. So first of all, I'll put my left hand on the club, and because I can now see two knuckles, you can see that my left hand is slightly over to the right on the grip, with the thumb coming down pretty close down to the centre. Okay, with my right hand it's going to be exactly the same. Okay, my hand going onto the club, I can see a couple of knuckles of my right hand there, with the thumb just resting over the top. Now what we do then, underneath the grip to link the hands together, you can see that I've just interlocked the forefinger of my left hand with the little finger of my right hand. Okay, so those hands are nicely linked together now, which when I make my golf swing, it means they're going to hinge correctly and the club face is going to return into a square position. The second part of the setup was our alignment. Now the alignment is again crucial, but what we're trying to do, we're trying to get the club face aiming at the target, okay, because that is where we're hitting the ball from, where we're actually striking the ball. But with the body, the shoulders and the hips and the feet, they're going to be parallel to that line. So basically it's a little bit like a railway line. We're hitting the ball from probably a yard out in front of us, so the club face will be aiming at the target and our body will be aiming a parallel line to that target. So your body doesn't actually aim at the flag or the target you're hitting at, or else the club face would be aiming to the right. It's a parallel line. The third element to the setup is the stance. Okay, the stance incorporates the ball position in relation to your feet and the width of your stance. Okay, with a mid-iron, which is kind of where we teach people, where we start the game, a 7-iron say, the ball would be roughly in the middle of your stance with your feet about shoulder width apart. Okay, when you tee off your first shot, which is what we're going to show you here, the tee shot, is the stance would be slightly wider than your shoulders and the ball would move to the left, so it would be level with your left heel. This is because the ball's on a tee and we're trying to sweep the ball as opposed to coming down and on top of the ball with a mid-iron. And if we did some pitching, if it was a little chip around the green, the stance would narrow in considerably, a lot narrower than the shoulders, and the ball would move slightly to the right in the stance. So we would hit the ball on the downward blow, on the descending blow, rather than with the driver where we're going to hit it on an ascending blow. Okay, so now we've set up to the ball correctly. Okay, I'm just going to basically explain to you and show you how to make the correct movements within the swing and try and link these movements together. As I keep stressing, that if you set up to the ball correctly with the good grip, the good alignment, good stance, good posture, you know, that is going to stand you in good stead for actually making a really good golf swing. But basically what we have to do now, we have to gain some momentum, some centrifugal force to get the club going back and through with a little bit of speed. Okay, that's done by rotating your shoulders roughly 90 degrees, the hips roughly 45 degrees, but keeping your spine at the same angle that it was set in at the address position. Okay, and then obviously the mirror image on the way through, okay, and keeping the spine again in the same angle, and then the club should return to its original point. As you take the club back, the wrist should automatically hinge. Okay, we keep the left arm pretty straight and the club should automatically hinge because of this good grip that we've created. Again, as you come down, the speed of the club will unhinge the hands and should bring the club face in pretty square. Again, because of this setup position. And all you have to do then is to make a nice rhythm, not trying to hit the ball too hard, just try and make a nice rhythm back and through and build up the speed. You know, leave the big fast swingers to the top players who are very, very strong and control their core movements. What we want to do is get a nice simple contact on the ball to knock it down the fairway.